Hey guys, welcome back to Genius Learning. So let's continue on making these spheres more complex. All right, now I want to show if we had a problem that needed to show the surface of the sphere only. So let's see. We have our sphere, right? Let's draw our circles, the average of the circle. And we're gonna draw, I'm gonna speed draw some of these parts since I've already done them in the other videos. So I'm gonna just do our regular circle like we've been doing. This one I'm gonna kind of try to keep the lines a little bit more neat because it's important for what I'm gonna show. So we come down like this, we got maybe one line there, here, here, maybe one in there, like that. So it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so maybe erase this one here, so that's confusing. Okay, let's see. Now, all right, I'm gonna do my z-axis here. All right, my dotted line, way out here. So I like to show this because it's like, you know, it gives somewhere where this thing came out, the line. It shows exactly where this line came out. You can't just do it like from the edge or here because, you know, you can, but it looks a little bit more 3D when you put like something's kind of pinching here, and then you have the axis coming out. All right, anyway, so the spheres like we've been doing, but now we want to show surface, let's say surface charge in E&M. All right, so basically what that means is I want to outline one of these little blocks to show that I only want to show what's on the surface. So let's say I outline one of these little boxes here, okay? And then I just lightly shade it in one direction, lighter than what I outlined it. And then I want to draw from the center, just a solid line going straight to it, and we'll call that radius. So a radius to this little surface piece here, and we could label this little surface here DA. Yikes. All right, DA. Okay, so differential area, and we're outlining only one of them to show that this is the surface of this sphere, and each one of these represents that surface. Okay, so let's draw this side a little bit darker. So you can see how this line here extended a little bit further. That's fine. Maybe make this one darker and this one. And I did this in the previous one. I'm just trying to make it a little more 3D by shading one side a little darker. Okay, and the other lighter. So then this is how we show just on the surface one of these little squares, and the radius shows that this is the surface. Okay, now from that I want to build on drawing this same thing but on the other side, but kind of leaving this area blank, and I'm going to show you why. So let's draw the circle. So running out of ink and lead. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So let's draw our sphere. Okay, our objective is to leave this side a little more blank and draw this same thing coming out this way. All right, so let's do this. Let's draw a circle. Okay, and then our lines. Okay, this way. I'm trying to be a little more neat since it's important that we have these little boxes kind of symmetrical. All right, so then I want to do one, let's say here. I want to outline this one here. Okay, I'm going to shade in the inside a little lighter, and let's put DA. Okay, so then the center, let's say, is here, of the sphere. A dotted line all the way straight up. Here it's solid, coming out from some little exit point. Here, another dotted line comes out of a little exit point. I would call it exit point. I like that. Okay, solid line coming out of there, and then another dotted line, and then a little exit point here, coming out like that. Okay, so we have our little differential area box, and we're gonna draw a line going to the center, right? And we're gonna label that radius. And the line could be from like the center of this thing, so you're not gonna be able to see it, but not from one corner to the other, just kind of like in the middle. Okay, now I want to highlight, or I want to make this side of the sphere darker, but like carefully. You know, like before we were doing it, I was shading it fast. You know, let's say, you know, I'll draw a sphere, make the lines, make these bottom ones, and then you see I can highlight it darker on one side to make it look 3D. But here I want to be careful with how I do it for this specific example. So I want to highlight this last line. I'm going to highlight this one, the second one, and maybe this third one here. Okay, I'm going to do the same for the line here, here, all of them, but only halfway. I don't want to finish all the way over here. And then the same here, and I think there's one there. Okay, so now I want to shade all of them individually. Okay, I want to shade all of them, and what I'm showing here is just this sphere is made up of these little differential squares everywhere. So in E&M and other areas of physics, this is important to break up infinitesimal little segments, right? These are supposed to be like really, really small, but we're blowing up the picture. And so we outline two of them, and then maybe we shade halfway on the third one. Something like that, just kind of, you know, very light, halfway, boom, done. All right, then I'm gonna outline this back line a little more, a little bit thicker too. So now it's extra dark and very light. So let's see, inside of each square we're just gonna shade in circles. Here is shade in a circle, here is shade in a circle, very light circles. Circle inside of the square. Okay, in each square, just do a light circle all the way to the edges. All right, and then everywhere where there's a corner like this, like a little cross in the middle, shade it dark. Like circles, but darker, not like the ones you just did. So in here, in this cross, dark circle. In here, in this cross circle, make it dark. Here in this cross, make it dark. Okay, here and here. So you can see that we made the edges of each little box dark, like in here, in here, in here, in here, and here, and here. And to make it even more of an effect, you know? Again, there's so many ways to draw it and for whatever reasons you need it for, but just another example of how we can add an extra effect to it. All right, and so then the right side, let's just lightly erase. Maybe we'll just kind of there. Just lightly throw the eraser on it. You want the lines, but you don't want them to be so dark, because now what I want to do is I want to show that this phi goes from the X to the Y. So it goes across in this direction. And maybe I could just shade what I just outlined. Okay. And I'm going to project these two edges down onto the XY plane. So I'm going to make little dotted lines till around there. Another dotted line till about there. Right? I don't want them to be even. So just project them down to a nice comfortable spot in the sphere that's empty. And this line right here, make it this line right here. Like that. And so then from there, let's go back to the origin. From this edge and this edge. So from here dotted line all the way to the origin. And the same thing for the other side here, all the way to the origin. I'm gonna make a little dotted line. Okay, so in case you need this area to kind of show things, like for example, if I have a sphere, let's see, okay, here, and let's say this is the DA, right? I want to project down. Okay, I'm going to draw this a little fast. This is the Z, this is the Y, this is the X. I want to project this down to the XY plane, right? This curve is this curve. Now I'm going to go from the origin to one edge, from the origin to the other edge, okay? And the purpose of this is to show that this length is R, right? And in here, from the X to the Y is my phi, right? A change from here to here is gonna be d phi, right? Because we're going from this point to this point. And then I'm gonna make a dotted line from the Z straight out to this surface differential area right here. So straight out there, and this is my theta angle that comes from the Z downward towards the XY plane. And if you're confused about what I'm doing here, I have videos showing how to derive these in very clear big spheres. But I just want to show that one side of the sphere could be dark like this. So you see how it's never has to be perfect circles, it's just the idea has to be there. This side is a little darker, and then this side of the sphere is lighter to show things that maybe you want to show. All right, so this is a cleaner version of that, but it's darker, lighter. Maybe you want to show a couple things here. All right, so let's get into some more circles and maybe how to like break them apart so you could see it in 3D. Okay, thank you for watching.